Andrew Gunn Tucker, and you can see something amiss in the engine compartment of that vehicle. Meanwhile, back on track, the battle continues. Timmy Megenbauer may have the lead, but Joey Atterbury has by no stretch let him go. And take a look here at the number 5. We talked about Ryan Ellis, started 10th, up into the 3rd spot, and is in fact drawing away from everybody else.
And he laid down the inside of Nicky Bull. Is he going to make it stick? That's for the 4th position. Great move there, very late. You can really diamond off that corner, really take a shallow angle of attack rather than staying out wide. It really works there in that keyhole corner.
And by doing that, you get the guy offline a little bit. It doesn't cost you much when you get on this long back straight, does it?
Well, a lot of people think just stay out really high and then you kind of sweep down and make a late apex on that corner to get on the to the back straightaway, but you can actually carry so much more speed in. The track kind of angles there. There's like a slight camber to the entry there that really helps you.
And Megenbauer down the bottom of the S's, heading into madness. And he has now opened up just a little bit, 2 car lengths perhaps, over Joey Atterbury with Ellis in that remarkable drive. In 3rd, and Mark Pombo. Oh, boy, huge developments here for one of the favorites in the championship.
Into the back straightaway there. We see a little bit of damage to the front end, so he may have got roughed up in the opening laps. We saw him dropping way back. You think he might have had some kind of issue with the car in terms of its performance, which is making him struggle a bit. But meanwhile, up front, Megenbauer looking very cool. And it's amazing what the confidence level grows to when you get that first win.
And he continues to look strong, although Atterbury, as we've said, not letting him get away. But they continue to actually draw away just a little bit. Not huge, but in increments over the number 5 of Ryan Ellis, the silver car that's often just in the back of the screen. These two guys doing everything they can to settle it. There is Ryan Ellis, who's driving a beautiful race, to be sure, especially when you factor in his starting spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good news for these two guys up front, Timmy Megenbauer currently 2nd in the championship, Atterbury 3rd, is that the championship leader, Jake Thompson, is still mired way back in this pack with that poor qualifying position. So this could be a big points day for both of these drivers.
And Timmy's so concerned after that 23rd place finish at the 2nd round of the championship. Since then, has very literally been a man on a mission, and it has worked to great effect for him as well.
Oh, and he's really late on the brakes there. You see the weaving. That once you get past that point where the car's comfortable, you really got to hang on to it. And Timmy's now starting to get some good experience in these cars, so certainly he's able to deal with those type of situations. But Atterbury is really starting to force the issue a little bit, and Megenbauer is going to have to use his car up a little bit more if he's going to hang on to this lead.
And being diesels and then adding in particulate filters, there's virtually no car noise. So there's no engine exhaust note like a racing car, so you can hear every little mistake, every little tire scrub, the whole thing.
The other thing is on the, sometimes you use the gearbox for the downshift with a normally fueled engine. With these diesels, a little bit different characteristics. You don't kind of get the retardation from the car like you normally do, so it's all done with the brakes.
So a little more free speed into the corner.
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. So sometimes you can use the engine to try and help you slow the car down. You don't get that effect with a diesel-powered car.
You just get it coming out of turns under acceleration with all the torque that the diesel-powered cars put together. And right now, Timmy Megenbauer seems to have figured out how to best apply that around this track.
Caution, pace car is out.
Yeah, with the problem for Richardson down at the bottom of the S's, and obviously with Pombo off as well, they decided it's just better to get these cars removed and get back to some clean green racetrack. So we'll be back in a moment. To Mid-Ohio, where we're about to go back to green flag racing. Pace car is in, and Timmy Megenbauer leads them up to the green flag, back underway. Joey Atterbury behind, but exactly what you were talking about, Ryan Ellis was going to need some help to join this group. He got it.
He did. I mean, he's right on the tail now of Atterbury, and I have to see if he's got the speed now to make a move on these two front drivers.
Well, he's glommed on to the back right now of Atterbury. Look at the battling going on behind. The 27 of Lee under huge attack from the number 4 of Nicky Bull. These two guys having themselves a great race, and Bull having this is as high up as he's run this year. Remember the opening round when he hit that curb and bounced through the air. He's just been getting quicker every race, and boy, has he got a good one going here.
He really does, and Lee has never been on the podium before in this series, but he had a 4th place finish at Miller, looking really strong today.
And then Andrew Cordero, that white car, trying to pick up yet another position after that almost spin at the keyhole. He's worked his way back up to the front. This is a pass on Juan Pablo.
Oh, look at that! Atterbury launches it over the curb there. You got to be so careful. He used more of the curb than you'd like to, and that literally got him up and also almost bicycled the car over.
Well, one thing we've talked about, the great grip they're getting out of these Pirelli tires, and you get up on the bike like that with the grip they're offering, that's spooky.
You almost need like a motorcycle design. He was using the sidewall there, I think. Unbelievable stuff.
There is the silver Vion-sponsored Jetta. Then behind him is Lee, the number 27.
Well,
oh, and he's wide.
Can he slow it down? This is going to be tough. Can he get it? No. We're still in the dirt trying to slow it down for the carousel, and I could see that one coming. He got a little bit wide through that very fast left-hander and then wasn't able to get it back on track and get it slowed down early enough for the carousel entry.
And as close as these cars are, particularly after the caution, he just lost at least 10 spots with that one mistake. Huge in terms of cost here, but Atterbury sitting in second, still trying to figure out a way to get by Megenbeyer. And right now, Megenbeyer's answer is just a good offense, speed.
Yeah, he's certainly got a fast car underneath him today, and he's doing the right job in terms of the lines. He's protecting really well. But without getting too defensive, you start to get too defensive, the rest of this pack is going to catch these 2 leaders. So Megenbeyer realizes that he still needs to run good, clean racing lines and keep the lap speed there.
And then the car in third in your picture there, that is Andy Lee, the 27 Castrol-sponsored Jetta, who has just calmly worked his way through the traffic and up. Here comes, is that Jake? That is Jake Thompson. What a great, that caution was huge for him.
It's like the Scandinavian flick getting ready to get down into that corner. But he got rubbed there a little bit. Not sure which car number that was. Tough to see here, but Thompson made the move down at the end of the back straightaway, but the driver immediately retaliated on him.
And again, Jake, somebody else who was, I'm sure, grateful to see that full course caution come out and give him an opportunity to try and get back in some points. There was the 7 of J.D. Mobley working his way up. Here is the 8 of Derek Jones. Mobley right behind him. A solid battle for these two as well.
They're having a great run. I believe that's for position number 4 in this race. But meanwhile, Megenbeyer up front, he's got that 2 to 3 car length, which is just enough to really protect the lead in terms of not having to defend to the inside into some of the brake zones. He needs that. Any smaller gap than that, then he'll have to change his line.
Just watching them carry speed, you can hear those tires absolutely being worked to the maximum through turn 1. A great corner, so fast, carry every ounce of speed, and then down into the keyhole that, as you said, is a lot more nuanced than it looks.
And you can brake so late up there because there's uphill on the entry, and then you get through that halfway point, and you just have to be so patient. You commit to the power too soon, it's just going to pick up a massive understeer, and if you do that through the early stages of the race, you're typically going to run off that left side tire.
It's funny to talk about a racetrack and talk about patience.
Yeah, well,
but that's what you...
Mid-Ohio has it all, has some really high-speed, total commitment corners like turn 1 and the fast left-hander, which some people call 13, some people call it 11, depending on which track configuration you're running. And then you have some real technical stuff like we're going through here through the S's, a lot of transitional corners. Your line is so important there. But then the carousel and the keyhole, you have to be patient. You have to wait before you jump back on the power.
Well, and that's why this series has those great instructors headed by Jan Halen to come out and teach these drivers that maybe don't have that experience and the drivers that have run here before to hone their craft just a little bit. And you see it being put to such great display right now. Megenbeyer in front of Atterbury. Then it is the 27 of Lee. And behind them, Cal, probably 2 of the great stories of this race, the 4 of Nicky Boole and the 26 of Andrew Cordero, up from 11th and 12th, respectively, on the starting grid.
That's a fantastic performance here. You talk about the level of competition in this series to make up those amount of positions here. This is the battle for 4th you're talking about. Just a tremendous run by both drivers.
Up through turn 1, carry every bit of speed. There is Boole, but boy, Cordero hounding him right now. Coming out of this turn, up and over, just barely nicking that exit curbing. And then up into the carousel, key corner, obviously.
It really is. You can brake really late up here. You can see the uphill section here, and there he goes. Cordero looks to the inside.
Boy, and it almost looked like that little feint to the inside is what got Boole looking in his mirrors. He floated wide. Cordero is through.